Religion is a fundamental part of people's lives and the ways that they engage with the world, the ways that they see themselves and the ways that they imagine their relationships with other people. And so it's really crucial to provide people with the space and resources that they need to be able to practice their religions comfortably and conveniently and safely.
My religion is me. It shapes who I am, it shapes what I do. My religion is really significant and important to me because of the basic truth of my reality. So I come from Sierra Leone, and Sierra Leone is considered as one of the poorest nations on planet, where like the average Sierra Leonean lives on $1.25 a day. In comparison, in America, the average is about $125, $160 a day. So if you compare those things, you can see that it is day and night. If it's on my own accord to come to CMU where I'm paying $25,000, $30,000 every year for school, I cannot afford that. I don't have the income, I don't have the means. But because of God, which ties to my faith, I've been able to have scholarships and blessings and support from good people who have believed in me without even knowing me, but just hear my story. They believe in me and support that. They've helped me here, come here, gone to high school, gone to community college, got my first 3 associate degrees, and at CMU, and still surviving. So that is a manifestation of God. I usually call myself a testimony child. Because of my faith, the impossible becomes the possible.
Islam is a really diverse religion. There's not just one kind of person that practices it. It's practiced all over the world. It's actually the second biggest religion in the world. So I guess to not stereotype people and put them into a box, because there's people that might be Muslim and you might not even know it. So I guess one of the biggest stereotypes is that all Arabs are Muslim and all Muslims are Arab. I personally am not Arab. I'm actually Indian and Bangladeshi. I would say that my experience wearing hijab on campus has been fairly good. I haven't, experienced much discrimination or anything. Fortunately, I know that's not the case for everyone, so this is my personal experience.
Wearing hijab is a choice. Often women articulate that choice as being able to demonstrate their closeness to God, as being able to demonstrate their membership and representation of the larger Muslim community, the idea that like the good things I do reflect on my community, right? Like I am part of this tradition, and the good things that I do can be credited to it. Also in the context of North America and other Western countries where hijab is considered so controversial for outsiders, there's also an aspect of rebellion and resistance in choosing to veil, in demonstrating that it is a choice and it's a way of empowering oneself in the face of public pressure to conform, and quite frankly, from a lot of hijabis' perspectives, a lot of pressure to be immodest, right? To dress in ways that they just don't feel comfortable being out in the world. So there's a lot of different reasons that people might choose to veil. Many of them spiritual, many of them also social and political. And there are also examples of geopolitical spaces where women are required to veil, and most members of the Muslim community globally argue against that. They argue that being forced to veil sort of takes the important meaning of the choice away. And I want to emphasize one more time, that is a strict minority of situations. So yes, women in Islam veil for a variety of different reasons. And the best way to know why a particular woman is veiling is to ask her, like, what inspires her to veil and what it means to her, because it can mean a lot of different things.
So in Islam, wearing the hijab, yes, it is a choice, but it's also technically mandatory. But of course, people have free will to or to not wear it. But it is a devotion to God, and it's a symbol of our religion, and we're told to wear it not just for modesty, but also to, showcase our religion. There's definitely not a lot of us here on campus, so the ones that are here, we kind of stick together. But fortunately, I haven't experienced anything super horrible on campus. As for representation, I think there can always be more representation, but that's, I think, a different topic.
CMU supports the international student much. CMU supports the international student much. I am very overwhelmed by the students, of the undergraduate students here. There are so many friends. They actually feel you that you are also with us. So I really feel good here, trust me. But apart from the religious point of view, I didn't think so. Maybe they are not aware of that because it's pretty obvious. Pretty obvious they shouldn't have to worry about that. So I think that CMU is kind of just lagging behind on that, because I have a one more way, because they believe all the Hindus are from India. That's wrong. There are so many Hindus from Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh as well. So if you are considering one religion from one country, that's wrong concept. So I just heard myself whenever someone if asks me, hey, what's your religion? So I go, I'm Hindu. Oh, India? No, I'm from Bangladesh.
The things that are being practiced at CMU but might not be as obvious to people. We have Jewish students here, we have Hindu students, we have neo-pagan students or contemporary pagan students. Wicca is a form of that. So CMU is a really diverse place in terms of religious practice.
CMU have this policy where if you need to have an excuse from a class or an exam for religious issues, that they can allow that. You can have a valid reason to have an excuse. I've never need to use it because most of my religious activities are in the evening and I don't have classes in the evening. And I go to church on Sundays anyway, so it doesn't affect my class. But I know for people that are of the Islam faith, during Ramadan, they get those things to do. So that's accommodating.
It's really important that CMU has become more deliberate and explicit over the last couple of years that religious observances are important and that communal space being made available to people is a fundamental part of making sure that CMU can be a good home and professional space for everybody. And so while of course there are a lot of things that we can continue to do to make sure that students' identities and practices are honored and respected, the best way to move forward with that is just to start this conversation.
I guess my only advice to people is to be open-minded and to educate yourself if you're ever confused about something when it comes to not only Islam but any other religion. I know I do it.
Be comfortable to express your faith, because really for me that is an important part of who I am, and don't box that out.